Hey guys, Sublord here, back in with another action figure review. Today we'll finally be taking a look, pretty excited for this one, at the DC Multiverse Collector Edition Deathstroke the Terminator. Good old Steve Perez, is it? R.I.P., by the way. Sucks when the old comic artists die, but, you know, they've been doing it for a hot minute. They've been in the game for quite a while now. It's been a while since they drew in comics. But at any rate, this of course brought to us by the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys, who are more than fine folks in this case, because right now this is my top dog for DC Multiverse Figure of the Year. And I know I've said that several times, you know, what was it? First it was Killer Croc, then it was Deadshot, or vice versa, I can't remember who came first. We got Scarecrow, my favorite Batman villain of all time, coming. And then there are several others that I either haven't reviewed yet or haven't gotten a hold of yet that are coming, as well as ones we don't even know about, I'm sure. Hopefully one of them's Ares. But at any rate, today we're taking a look at good old Slade Wilson, aka Deathstroke the Terminator, who is both a Teen Titans villain, primarily, but also a Batman/Green Arrow villain. I almost said Green Lantern. I guess he could be, but I think Green Lantern would actually stand a chance against Deathstroke here. So, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all Deathstroke the Terminator has to offer in terms of accessories, starting off the collectible trading card, the bio on the back, yada yada yada. It also comes with a pair of trigger finger hands. Good old trigger finger hands. Now what sucks is he doesn't have another fist and another open hand. Those would have been kind of useful. But these are useful too. This one's a little bit wider of a grip. This one's a little bit more closed. So this one's going to be more useful. This one's going to be a little loose. So be mindful of that. Probably stick to bigger weapons in that other hand. Speaking of weapons, he comes with 4 of them. Like this little pistol with a laser sight on it. And you can actually lift his arm up and put that right here in the holster. I'll leave it right there for now. Safekeeping! Safekeeping. We also get these 2 guns, which were clearly stolen from the first weapons pack. We also saw these with one of the Call of Duty spawns, if I'm not mistaken. I think the one with the cape had these. That said, I think this is closer to Deathstroke's standard gun. I know this is the same gun that I gave the Page Puncher / Rebirth one, because I got him all kitted out. He's got a bow staff, he's got a sword, the like Deathstroke specific sword for that era, and then he does have that this style of gun. But I almost think that the Mattel one, which not for nothing, this is basically a Mattel DC Classics figure done by McFarlane. I almost think the Mattel one had something more like this. I'm going to have to look at that and see what's going on there. I want to say that this is closer, because I think it had this little handle thing on the top. But we also get this big Chungus gun, which is just, oh, so very, almost too big for a normal human. Really wish we got like a different gun with him other than this one. Better yet, scrap this and give him his sword and his bow staff. He doesn't come with those, and he doesn't come with the unmasked Slade Wilson head that the Rebirth Page Punchers one came with, if I got that right. Which sucks because the platinum of that Page Puncher's Deathstroke had the correct eye patch. It was black instead of white. I don't know why they would ever give him a white eye patch. That just seems kind of stupid to me. But at any rate, he also comes with the hockey puck display stand we're used to seeing with all McFarlane Toys releases, with a new DC logo, which is very weird. I think Mirror Master had that too. But here he is. He's got a loose-fitting bullet belt. I guess you could count that as an accessory if you want. He's got a more cloth-esque mask that's pulled over his face there. It appears to be all new sculpt. Maybe the shoulders are reused from somebody. Couldn't frickin' tell you, but they look like they could be. The biceps aren't because they have his little bands. The elbows might be reuse from somebody, but again, I really couldn't tell you. I'm not too sure on that one. The forearms are clearly new for him. The gloves are not separate pieces. If they are, they're glued in there. The legs are new because I don't think we've had these textured legs before. The boots, obviously new. The trunks, obviously new because they have his belt with the pistol holster on it. Should have a sword scabbard here, but I guess it's better that he doesn't have it because he doesn't have the sword to go in it. And then his upper body is new, possibly. And the midsection is new. So a lot of new. Other than the shoulders and maybe these floating cap pieces, everything here appears to be new. Which is pretty cool. We don't see that a lot nowadays. A lot of reuse in this line. Sensible reuse, but reuse nonetheless. But as far as articulation goes, his head will rotate side to side. You can look up this far, down this far, tilt side to side. Be mindful of this little bandana ponytail thing sticking off the back of his mask. His shoulders will go up. Now, they're not loose, but they don't have the little clicky joints. And I like the little clicky joints. They mean the joint is tight. Especially this one. This one just kind of glides. And while that is fine, I guess, but I'd just like to see that come back. Some figures have it, some don't. He's got the beautiful butterfly, so he can shift around. He's got a swivel in the bicep. You can, of course, rotate the shoulder. He's got a double elbow. That works fine. Kind of chunky, but it is what it is. He does have ball hinge wrists that will rotate, hinge, and twist. He's got a put a grenade in that hand, I guess. And then a fist over here. Kind of wish he just had two fists instead of an open hand and a fist. But whatever. Now the torso, I haven't really futzed with yet. It can rotate side to side. It can lean back this far. It can lean forward this far. And it does not feel particularly loose. At least not on my figure. So I don't feel the need to futz with that. He can tilt side to side as well. And then his waist is pretty stock. You're mostly gonna get a little wiggle. I imagine if I heated this, it would work a little better, but as it stands, it doesn't really want to do anything. There we go. Just had to put in a little elbow grease. It mostly rotates. Can pivot a bit, but nothing crazy. Nothing too crazy there. Like I said, his upper torso feels solid, so I don't really feel the need to mess with that. Hips will kick out about this far. Back down, they'll kick forward about that far. He does have a thigh cut. It's a little, actually, it does move out a little bit too, so he does have an okay thigh cut for this line. Double knee, kind of chunky again, but I'm really trying to look past that with certain figures because, well, when it's not bent all the way, it looks okay, I guess. He does also have ball hinge ankles that will rotate, hinge, pivot, and toe joints that are pretty solid. So, not bad. Very, very nice figure. Definitely one of the best DC Multiverse figures to come out this year. And truth be told, I actually had a chance to get the platinum. Now, the reason I didn't do that is because, well, they colored it based off the Teen Titans show. And I said in my Deadshot review that I would get the Bruce Timm color variants if it was possible. And while Teen Titans was Bruce Timm adjacent, Bruce Timm's actual design for Deathstroke in the new Batman Adventures Continue comics looked a lot more like this guy. You know, with the pirate boots, the sword, you know, a pistol maybe, and I think he had a knife. And I'm hoping McFarlane reissues that figure at some point, like they did the Red Hood. But yeah, I really like this figure. This figure came out great. I'm sure he's a little tricky to get nowadays because he's been out for a while, but if you can, I would definitely do so. He is one you're not going to want to miss. I think he's going to be easily one of the figures that holds his value when Mattel takes over. And there he goes, falling on his butt. Is this knee bent? It is. Why are you not standing up? Had him standing up before. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's the hips. It's probably the hips. I think it was. Alright. There. Now he's going to stand up, right? No? What the heck? He was standing up earlier. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's the ankles. It must be the ankles, because I had him standing up. I promise! Son of a monkey, make me look like a boob on camera? Thanks a lot, man. I just kissed your butt and you did that to me? See if you make it on the top 13 figures of the year. I hope Johnny Crane kicks the crap out of you. But with all that being said, I think it is time now that we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here's good old Deathstroke, the Terminator, alongside the only other figure we've looked at from this particular wave of collector's edition figures. We got the Flash villain, Mirror Master, as well as the collector edition Deadshot, who was a couple collector edition waves ago. And this is what I meant when I was saying earlier how I prefer the Bruce Timm looks for these characters. This Deadshot is clearly based, quote-unquote, based off how he appeared in Justice League Unlimited. And while I do really like how Deathstroke was portrayed in the Teen Titans cartoon, the McFarlane Platinum of this figure, that's supposed to, quote-unquote, represent how he appeared in said Teen Titans cartoon, it just doesn't work. He's wearing pirate boots and gloves, whereas in the Teen Titans cartoon, he's got full body armor. If anything, the Arkham Origins Deathstroke would have been a better Deathstroke to repaint into that. And not for nothing, Teen Titans Deathstroke wears a helmet with no headband. So, there is that. And he also doesn't use any weapons. He just fights with his bare hands. There was also one point where he had a really cool skull head, but that's a whole other story for another day. So, getting these two out of here, so we can bring in our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibilith. Right there. And a fellow mercenary, good old 11 Spawn, who is almost the same height as Slade Wilson here, but just edges him out ever so slightly. So, with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and aside from the missing sword and bow staff that this particular version of good old Slade Wilson is known for having, I have to say that this is by far one of the best DC Multiverse figures the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys have given us, not only this year, but in the entirety of their DC Multiverse line. And that's a bold statement, because this guy's rivaling the likes of the White Knight Azrael, or the Bane Mega Fig. And those are big shoes to fill. Big shoes to fill indeed. Even the Jonah Hex with the General 2-pack was a very solid addition to this line. But this Deathstroke here, man oh man. I hope the Scarecrow I pre-ordered is just as good as this guy, because that is my favorite Batman villain. And if this guy is any indication of what some of the better releases from this line are going to be, while McFarlane Toys has a license, I think we're in for a real treat, folks. I really do. So, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.